Of 1968. Oh my gosh. What can I say about this class? I will say that you will make us work harder now than ever before. And I will also say that I've gotten more people from the class of 1969 coming up to me saying, how can we do that? How can we ever beat that number? And I know, and that's what I say. Yeah, I don't know. So if any of you have advice for them or for me, I will take it.
Just tell them they can't.
All right. Well, hey, so we are going to do something that we've never done before at Alumni Weekend in the history of the college. We are going to dedicate a new part of our campus, which has never been done before in Alumni Weekend, and that is because of all of you here in the class of 1968. Thank you so much. Please give yourselves and all of you that are not part of this a hand. Fantastic. Okay, you're hamming up now. All right, So on behalf of the college and on behalf of the advancement staff and the Alumni Relations Office, my name again is Jim Watt. I'm the Vice President for Advancement, and I want to thank all of you for the work that you've done to get us here. I want to thank you all for the gifts that you've made, for the amount of time and hours that you've volunteered to make this weekend fantastic. We greatly appreciate it. And now, after this event, we are going to party. Yes. Right? I heard some of you already started last night. Shoes off. Yes. Dancing. Esteemed emeriti professors were dancing the worm. I'm not going to say who. I heard later Sue's going to do that again. Sue? Oh, it's okay, Sue. Guess what? It was sent to me on video. Last night at 11 o'clock, I showed my wife. You want to see what Sue Ash was doing? So, a couple of things before we get started. Again, I want to thank all of you, but I also was humbled. It was pointed out to me by Matt Stoudenauer that our Believe campaign, which we are working on right now and that we're going to launch public in the fall, Matt said to me, do you realize that over 7% of our total goal for the Believe campaign will come from the class of 1968? That is fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Climbing on the steps.
Yes, you are. And I would imagine there is no better class to do this, because what other class has won 4, right, consecutive class cups?
Yes.
3? Oh, no, 4, because I gave you one last President's Commission. Don't correct me, I know. So with that, I would like to introduce the man that's going to get this going, our 12th president, Dr. James Fra, to say thank you to you and give you some remarks on behalf of the college. Thank you from our office, but now, President Troha.
Hey, thank you. I love that name, by the way. Hey, who's going to own that? Did somebody propose Terrace? Was that us? Was that somebody from the class? Was
Legacy committee.
Legacy? I think that's going to resonate with our students. It just got a certain. It's got a good feel to it. So I obviously left the party too early last night. I did not see Sue Ash do the worm. Jennifer and I left. Jennifer, what time? We left about 11-ish. So that was way too early. What time did the worm happen? Jim, when did you get that? Because I want to post that on Twitter. I want to get.
I'm going to say who sent the text.
Okay.
But I did get it around around 10 o'clock.
Oh, it might happen before we got there.
Well, it could have happened when you got there, but you weren't up close in person.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Wow. Yeah. So I just want to echo Jim's remarks and just say thank you for, geez, what a weekend so far. And I mean, the energy that you created on Friday night is, we're not going to be able to replicate that. I mean, I hope we do, but it was just such good energy and such a great surprise. And George, my goodness, you got me. I don't know what else to say. You got me. He was saying, "Oh, just say that you're happy with that." I had no idea what actually happened, so we appreciate that. We're going to have a moment here just in a few minutes, though, to have another moment as we head out to the balcony over the doors of BAC here, and as we look over Moore Street and over campus. We're going to be able to reflect on another moment of accomplishment that all of you have brought to us, and that is to dedicate what is now named Terrace 68, which is a walkway and a porch on the front of a building that was built and new when you were here for the first time, that is now rebuilt 50 years later. And in this space that just opened up a year ago, you may remember old A100, and this looks a little bit different and feels a little bit different, and we so appreciate what you have done to support the front part of this facility. I will never forget, Bob McDowell maybe remember this, but when I first time Jennifer and I drove from State College when we flew in here to interview as a candidate here, coming and rounding this corner and seeing what I called kind of the bee's nest metal that was on the, yes, that. Oh my gosh, it was great timing. And saying, ooh, like that doesn't do this building proud. You can sort of see something beyond that. And I remember talking to Tristan Del Giudice, our director of our facilities, early in my time here, and say, when can we get rid of that? And he said, well, we can do anything, Jim. It's just a little bit of money. And sure enough, when we decided to renovate this part of the facility, that was one of the first things to come off. And now you see what it looks like, and you'll get a better view when you're up there. You know, again, I look at this as another student gathering space, a space that encourages reflection and appreciation as you are on that porch and looking across campus and giving our students time and space to think about their particular journey, wherever they are in that journey. If you've noticed one thing about Juniata and what they have done well here, what all of you have done well here, is position the best views and the best space all for students. They're not offices. Certainly not the president's office. They are student spaces that are reserved, the best space are reserved for student hangout and reflection. And you have engendered that in the space above us today. So you should know, class of 1968, that your support for this project was overwhelming. What started out as a $100,000 goal in cash went to $150. What was it? Oh, okay, 150, and then the last goal was 200,000. Got moved up, and delighted to share with you, as of 5 minutes ago, from Sally Oberly, she actually pulled the data, brand new. You have raised in cash $231,277.78 for this project. So congratulations. It is one of the highest totals ever for cash giving for a 50th reunion class project. Your support will be forever visible on one of Juniata's most iconic buildings, and it will look much nicer as people come from the north onto our campus, around that bend, and see this facility. You do this in the context of other dollars that you have raised, and in the context of a campaign that I shared with many of you already. We have a goal to raise $100 million to support our students, our faculty, and the facilities here on Juniata's campus. If you haven't heard, we are at about $69 million toward that $100 million goal, where we started back in June of 2014. And your gift, as you just heard, has played a large role toward our success. Your gifts show a powerful belief in this place, in the people that not only that you were here with, but the students and others, the faculty and staff that will come long after you. So we thank you. So before I sign off and hand things over to George Lupko, which I'm very, very afraid of, I think I've seen pictures here that are scrolling, and I just want to say that I have also inquired, because there's something special about this building because of its location. As you come around 26 and you come on, it's one of the very first buildings you see, and we do want to sort of project our best. And there are elements of this building that have gone away through time, and for good reason. But I'm interested in bringing some back. So you see well, not that was the original architectural drawing, but you'll see in the finished drawing 2 sets of steps that brought you back up to where that rotunda is. And those went away because they were in such poor condition that it was becoming unsafe, and they were just hard to keep up. So one went away before I got here. The other one went away just a few years ago, and it's been replaced by some landscaping. If you go out there, you'll see what I'm talking about. Through your continued support, I hope that we could bring back that original architectural element of the steps that come from Moore Street that will now be able for students and others to bring you up to that balcony that you are supported to Terrace 68, which right now you can't get to without coming up either end of the building and then out. So, you know, I'm just saying, for those of you who haven't yet given to this project or other classmates that are out there, I want to bring back, and that's not the greatest picture. It's actually the steps kind of curved from that sidewalk, and now with the balcony that rests up there, it makes more sense than ever to have those steps. Before, it just kind of brought you into the building, into the hallways. Now those steps can bring you right onto that balcony, and we hope to be able to do that sooner rather than later. I'm talking again to Tristan, can we make this happen? And he said, oh, of course. So yeah, you can see it from that last photo. You see what I'm talking about. Okay, with that, George, please invite you to come on up here and provide some remarks before we head outside. Thank you again, Class 68. It's been a pleasure getting to know many of you, and we appreciate all your generosity again. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jim. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to be relatively brief. A couple of opening comments. First of all, we've had a great weekend. I made some comments about Mark Zaritsky and Claire Kenyon the other night. And I want to tell you this, I meant them. Mark was telling me that some folks actually came up to him and said, "Are you okay with what he said?" And Claire, you didn't hear what Claire said to me. I said that he was never going to get as old as he looked, and he just said, "I'll be happy as if I don't get as old as you look." So it was all good. It was all good. I feel, Jim, you got to get your staff to give me a little better instruction here. This was Science Building, right? When I was here, this was Science Building, right? And I was told, I said, well, what do I say at this little gathering here? Because I don't want to say too much. We want to go upstairs and see this. And they said, well, talk about why you took on this chairmanship of the Legacy Committee. And I said, well, the reason was these guys bought me lunch. And they took me out and said, would you be in charge of the Legacy Committee? And I said, well, okay, if no one else volunteers, I'll do that. And so that's how I got to be in charge of the Legacy Committee. But I really enjoyed doing this. It was really a lot of fun. I have to say, and I want you all to know this, and I've told everybody this, that the real legwork was done. A lot of this was done by the staff. I mean, the Legacy Committee and Ruth and all the committee members, we all participated. We did a lot of stuff. But, the staff here has to be given a lot of credit for the work that was done. We made some phone calls. We wrote some letters. But they did some stuff as well. Here's the part that I have a little problem with. That is, I was also asked to provide some anecdotes, helpful anecdotes. Now I'm a physician. I think most of you know that. I've been a physician for 40 years. When I heard that, I didn't hear anecdotes. I heard antidotes. And so... If those of you want to stick around for a while, I have about half a dozen ingestible poisons that can be treated with activated charcoal. Let's start with A. No, that's fine. Thank you very much. Listen, I don't want to bring this class down here this afternoon, but I do want to make some comments about this gift that we're giving them. I wanted something in bricks and mortar. It's very nice for us to give money for endowments and for scholarships and things. Very important. Those are very important things. But, I wanted us, that is, our class, if we bring our kids, our grandkids, whatever, to be able to point to something and say, we did that. Okay? So that was the thrust here. Now, not everybody agreed with me at the beginning, and I shouted them down. So this is what we're doing tonight, and there's going to be a nice plaque there, and you're going to see what was done, and that's all because of us. And I'm going to tell you a little bit. I'm going to just read a part of a poem. This poem is in the Alpharetta 1966. It's part of a larger poem. It's the very end of this poem, but I think it's very apropos. And it says, as steps carry us beyond the walls of Juniata, beyond her wildest dreams, for us, yet let this be our goal, a bridge, one step beyond to better the world in which we live. Thank you.
On behalf of Juniata College, I just want to say thank you again for all of your generosity to making this space happen. This will be reflected in the annals of Juniata history that we are dedicating this space at this time with all of you present, and that's enough for a toast right there. So cheers to all of you. Let's go ahead and take that off, and then as that comes off.